Colin, wow. Well, I'm so looking forward to having you in the masterclass starting on Monday. How you feeling?
Good, me as well.
First off, what led you to join?
Well, I'm self-studying, but I think the main thing joining, I wanted something kind of a supplement, kind of more added tools that I can use to perform the best of my ability for the June exam. But also, it's well, the June, it's my first time taking it, so even if it doesn't go well, I'll have kind of a better foundation to take, a future exam.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's good. And you're starting the process early. You still have the July LSAT, the three in the fall. So you have many options ahead of you. But I'm glad that you're starting early and we'll have this time together.
Right.
What are your biggest LSAT struggles right now? I saw you mentioned over email that you haven't gotten into time to work yet.
Right. So probably everything, but I think logic games are my weakest. I think that's something I kind of would want to go back and kind of start from scratch with. But I think reading comprehension, I think I have pretty good understanding with. That's something I pretty good with, and the logical reasoning. That's one of the sections I like the most. But it's kind of sometimes I find that sometimes I'm getting a lot of wrong answers because it's tricky. I think I have the right answer, but then it's always hard to choose. I find myself choosing between two answers.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really common situation. And that's something we'll definitely cover during the logical reasoning portion of the class. Now, which of my LSAT resources have you used so far?
Well, I got your cheat sheets, and I've browsed your blog, some of your articles, and I've watched some of your YouTube videos.
Awesome. Great. Are there any particular areas that you're hoping that we cover together in the class, aside from what I laid out in the syllabus, or maybe going in more depth in one particular area?
Yeah, so for the logic games, I think I guess how to make one diagram. I think I find myself time consuming trying to for different questions trying to make more than one diagram, but I know that's not the proper way. You should have one diagram to be able to make inferences to answer the other questions.
Yeah, that's a great point. So I'd say that for some games, yes. For some games, there is one main diagram with tons of inferences on it that can unlock the game. But in other cases, it may be different. And so we're going to look at some of those where that does apply and some games where it doesn't.
Mhm.
I saw you mentioned that you had a few books of exams. Which exams do you have?
So I have I have 62 through 81.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, solid recent material. We'll be looking at some of that recent material together and some other stuff too to kind of contrast the similarities and differences, because I think that especially in these more recent exams, they actually don't let you make a ton of inferences up front. You will have one main diagram, but it'll be kind of open-ended.
Okay.
You'll have to do more over the course of the game. And so I would just caution you to think about having some flexibility in your approach where you may not always be able to solve a game exactly the same way every time. Unfortunately,
Right.
they're just too clever for that, They're
Yeah.
asking more of us.
Okay. And I think the other thing, I think I've heard you mention this in a few videos that there are the LSAC has some trial and error for getting exposure to the digital exam.
I'll get more into that every step of the way. Like when we cover games, I'll talk digital LSAT games. We talk reasoning, I'll talk digital LSAT reasoning, and so on. But to answer your question directly, overall, the trial and error with the tablet, I guess what I may have been alluding to is that I think their format isn't amazing. I don't love the digital LSAT as it exists right now, but it is what it is. We'll make the best of it. I think that someone taking the digital LSAT 3 to 5 years from now, it may look slightly different, but we'll see. For now, though, of course, we've got what we've got. What you see on LSAC's site at familiar.lsac.org is a solid representation of what you may be taking in July or what you will definitely take if you take it in the fall. And so I think that overall, it just is what it is, and we'll work with what they're giving us. And the biggest thing, of course, I think, is that you can't draw freehand on the tablet. You have to draw separately on your scrap paper and kind of go back and forth between them. And so my digital LSAT wish list, item number one would be let people draw on the tablet. And so I think that they're going to see that it's not working out so great for folks as it exists, especially I think for older applicants who aren't quite as tech comfortable or tech savvy.
Right.
And they may want to adjust that. But for younger folks who are more attuned to digital stuff, and if you're used to like doing work with PDFs on the screen and writing on the side, then I think that you'll be well prepared for that.
Okay.
Any other concerns or questions on the digital LSAT?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I'll be getting more into it as we go along each step for a games, reasoning, reading comp, and then later when we're reviewing particular LSAT problems.
Okay.
So class starts Monday night. Where are you located, by the way?
New Jersey.
New Jersey, awesome. Okay, yeah, so I'm in the city. You should come to a meetup sometime if it's not too far.
Okay.
I'm doing one on the 23rd at my office in downtown Brooklyn. I'll be doing a free logic games class. You're more than welcome to come by. I'd love to have you down there.
Okay.
If you can make it. And I'll probably be doing something monthly anyway. So Monday at 8, we'll be doing logic games. And I'll send you a few links after our call now for you to look at, just some particular LSAT games I'm planning to potentially cover. And of course, if you have any particular requests on types of games, like ordering, grouping, and so on, just shoot me an email and I'll try to work it in. But I've also noted the particular things you mentioned about main diagram and such.
Sure.
All right, Colin, any other questions before we sign off for now?
No, I'm sure I'll have some for Monday though.
Yeah, great. Just keep in touch, shoot me emails if anything, and I'll see you Monday at 8.
Okay, great.